Why, hello, everyone. It's good to see you all again. I guess this would be the second episode of our podcast, but we're thankful for all the love and support you showed us last time. Here on The Debate, Response, I have with me today my good friends Joe and Donald. Together, we're mainly going to be discussing some aspects around Yugioh recently, talk about some other games that we're excited to play, and some life stuff. Trying to keep it calm and good vibes only, I do apologize about how we acted last time. That's not how we normally behave. But that should tell you how passionate we are about Yugioh. I'd like to thank you all for joining us today, and let's have a good and meaningful discussion today, shall we? Joe, would you be so kind enough to lead us off into our first segment?
Yeah, sure. No problem, Barack. First up, we're going to be combing through you guys' Twitter questions and comments that you left for us. Also, thank you very much for responding to that presidential tweet. You see, Kamala was pretty against me doing something like this, as Elon can be a pretty wacky fella. But I sat down with him, and he seemed like a pretty down-to-earth kind of guy, So he made a president's account for my tweeter, and I began tweeting just like that little yellow cutie Tweety bird. Oh, how she could tweet and chirp loudly.
Joe, the tweets?
Oh, right. Yes. Sorry, I was thinking about Tweety's bright yellow feathers and how beautiful they looked. When I was a young boy, we used to have an American goldfinch that would guard over our neighborhood. A majestic little thing he was. Anytime someone was in trouble, it would always appear and guide you to safety. There was this little rascal by the name of Jimmy Jacks. Now, Jimmy was a slippery little fellow who would always cause some sort of ruckus. And on one hot summer day, Jimmy found himself stuck between a rock and a hard place as he tried to climb the local rock monument to impress little sweet Susan Cummings from around the corner. He went through an opening but didn't know where to go as the path split into two, but little old Goldfinch was there, chirping at the opening that led him outside safe and sound. Gosh, how I miss that little fella Goldfinch.
The replies that our viewers and subscribes gave us, Joe. We have to reply to those for this segment.
Speaking of little rascals, we do have to get those eager guys who left us all those comments from last time, huh? Starting off, we have at _TSM saying, "Can you guys release a longer version of the podcast? I hope it's not Patreon locked. That would be real lame, TBH." Well, aren't you lucky these podcasts of ours aren't Patreon locked. They're free for everyone to enjoy. Locking this content behind a paywall would be only something a villain would do, a real nasty person who has lost hope in humanity. That's not us, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about.
Yeah. To anyone out there who wonders if they will ever have to pay for this type of content, don't even let that thought cross your mind, all right? Trust me, everything's good over here.
Next up is RX70 Drippy, who says, "Joe, can you fix your mic? Shit sounds like a Wendy's drive-thru at 2 a.m. on a Thursday. Love the podcast, BTW. Yeah, I know the echo last time was kind of crazy, but we fixed it. Don't worry. I should sound clean and clear as a whistle." Lastly, It Should Be Me asks, "Why is it only the three of you?" Well, George is always busy, and we really don't want to bother him too much. That, and he's been hanging around Ben a bit too much, and they've been doing other things like going on trips and playing Magic, so we usually leave them be. We should get together with George at some point, though, and have a nice day out since spring is here. As for other people, well, to be frank, they just aren't as cool as us.
Well, I wouldn't say that they aren't as cool as us, but yeah, we just don't really get along with them, to put it nicely. Just certain things that we disagree on, and I would rather not argue or be completely passive-aggressive through an entire episode of the podcast. Besides, it's nice when it's just us. Joe is right, though. We do need to get George in here at some point. I do kind of miss the four amigos and the trouble we would cause.
Haha, yeah. Remember when it was George's birthday and we all went to Red Lobster and none of us brought our wallet because Donald said he would handle it? Then we had to dine and dash. Man, that was so much fun. The four of us sprinting out as Donald was lagging behind and fell, so we had to pick him up and run like hell.
I was handling it. I just needed a few more minutes talking with the waitress, and she would have let us gotten that meal for free. But no, Joe just had to get his special little chicken tenders and fries.
She said it was made with love and care from the chef. Plus, I wasn't going to miss out on their infamous triple chocolate milkshake that comes along with it.
Donald, you were just flirting with the waitress all night long. I doubt that was going anywhere. You even slipped her $100. Why didn't you just pay for the meal?
Why did Michelle have your wallet?
Anyways.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Moving on to our next topic.
Straight
Let's talk about some Yu-Gi-Oh, fellas.
Shut up, Joe.
Currently in the OCG, Pearly has been rising and making a name for itself. The deck that people are claiming to be the second coming of Zodiac, who would have thought? What's really interesting is first place winner Alvin Sue, who finished first in Board's Journey Spring Duel Festival 2023 qualifier deck list that is running 3 Santa Claus and the Crystal Bridge of Salvation combo. I'm sorry, I mean the Rainbow Bridge of Salvation. This build of his popped off and worked for him as he was able to shut down various combo decks and slow down the game with hand traps like Ash and Droll. The side deck does look interesting as we see Nibiru make a return for a lot of players now. A lot of side decks actually are opting to run more hand traps and going second cards to help break the board like Nakayoshi's Kashtira, which he also managed to place first in 2 IWO CS, but second in the 20th Hagetaka CS. Aside from that, it's your usual Labyrinth, Tearlaments, Super Heavy, and Atoms.
Hey, were there any Exo-Sister list in that? I've been playing a lot of Exo-Sisters on Master Duel since Live Twins haven't been working out, and I must say that I love them.
Of course you would use that deck.
Actually, yeah. This time around, there were 4 recorded Exo-Sister list. Good for them.
Yippee, Exo-Sisters rule.
You know, a lot of the newer archetypes are starting to look pretty darn good. Pearly and Melfi support are basically custom cards that increase their power even more. Vanquish Soul is playable now and has a fun resource loop. Unfortunately, the Rescue Ace cards I think still could use a bit more, but holy cow. Gold Pride is really out here now. Before it felt like a really weird sprite mash with Punk. But now they're pretty solid on its own that you don't have to bother with the Punk cards. You still can, and I'm sure that there's still a lot of strong boards you can make, but why not just sit on like 4 back row and pass? Rollerballer, Pinballer, and Chariot Carry Insane. The recursion is so strong with this deck, not to mention better luck next time, is exactly what this deck needed. It's like Sprite Starter, but better and doesn't lock you. I'm really excited to play some Gold Pride, honestly. I don't think I'll use them with Punk, as I think they're fine on their own, however.
Yeah, all of that sounds cool and stuff, but did you see the extra cards like Click and Echo? Such a cute little fellas, and their effect to force you to play with their hand revealed sounds pretty good. I want to play with them in Little Opposition. I have this feeling in my gut that somehow Little Opposition will be a good card, and I'm all for it.
Little Opposition is the trap that lets you special summon 2 level 2 monsters from deck based on zones, right? I don't know, Joe. I think it's too slow to play. Now, if it was a spell, things would be different. Might even put it in Sprite or Melfi. Summon Ibli and link off for free. Maybe something like that.
All right. Well, if you really, and I mean really don't like your opponent, you can keep them locked under Testudo so they can't summon a monster with 1800 or more attack or consecrated light, since dark is a popular attribute. Moving on to some of the archetype stuffs. Have you thought about using it in Mana Dome? Check this out. Here's a replay I made showing it off. So you have Little Opposition set with Room Heart and Obsession in hand. Starting off, you normal summon Room Heart, search Trid, activate Little Opposition to summon Hearless. Special summon Trid, activate Obsession to destroy Trid to add Calarium to hand, then activate Trid and Grave to summon Meek. Next, we activate Calarium to add Visa's Starfrost to hand, banish Obsession from Grave to summon Starfrost from our hand, send Room Heart to summon Barone. Banish both Visas and Room Heart from Grave to summon Vicious Ashroud, which will destroy Meek on summon. Chain
Jesus
1
Christ,
Meek.
he's still going.
Chain 2 Calarium
Donald,
to
let
summon
him cook.
Meek back, and another Meek that's level 4 from deck to synchro with Ashroud to make the Crimson Dragon. Targeting Barone, it'll spin itself back to extra to bring out that cool Bysteel synchro. I forget its name. Anyways, it'll special
Bysteel
summon back our
Dispotter.
banished Starfrost, but he'll be linked off Lightheart, which will search for Reichphobia, which will search for Reichheart. Special summon Reichheart to add a rival, but most importantly, since we have 3 defense position monsters, we can draw 1 card. Next, we send Hearless and Reichheart to summon Tri-Edge Master to draw another card. Link off Lightheart and Tri-Edge to summon Cross Sheep. We activate a rival to bring back Visas and Synchro. Summon Visas Amritara, using our Meek to search for reframing. Banish Visas and Reichheart to summon another Ashroud to cross Sheep Zone so we can summon Meek once more to summon into Chaos Angel. Lastly, we use Lightheart Grave Effect and send 3 for a 3-mat Appaloosa, ending on reframing and 2 cards in hand. What do you think of that, Jack? Pretty cool, huh? Also, since we're going second, we can OTK with this. Chaos Angel banishes 1 on field. The Bysteel can do the same. Barone can pop a card and negate. I was thinking of adding like Stardust Charge Warrior for consistent draw 1 over Tri-Edge. Somehow fitting Access Code Talker and Unicorn in here, but so far I think it's pretty solid.
Joe, that was incredible. You learned and did all of that? I see what you mean about the access code talker. Maybe cut Borreload Savage Dragon and Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon. Looking at your list, I think that...
You did all of that for a draw too, and not being able to OTK with a deck that loses to one Ash or Imperm.
Does it? Geez, when you put it like that, I guess this deck is pretty bad, huh? I just wanted to make little opposition viable.
Well, it doesn't hard lose to Ash or Imperm, but you would have to do different plays to counteract it. I think you were amazing, Joe. Keep up the good work, okay, buddy?
Thanks, Barack. I love you best, bud.
Anytime, Joe. Man, you can always come up with some wacky stuff in this game. I love it. Hey, speaking of games and stuff, anything else you guys have been doing? Aside from Yu-Gi-Oh, I've been anticipating playing some Honkai Star Rail. And since it reminds me Genshin a lot. I don't mind that it's turn-based, and overall the game looks pretty good. I hear that the gacha is a bit easier than Genshin, so that's a plus. But with the removal of one gear slot, it'll actually make grinding a bit more tough. I'm all for it, but I know some people will be put off by that aspect. I know our editor is going to be playing it, so I should hit him up and see what he says.
Yeah, he is a good swell guy. I saw him in Discord playing that Punished Grey Ravens game, and I must say it looks really, really fun. It was funny, though. He would, get hit once, and all you would hear from his mic was the heaviest exhale. Like a bull moments before its charge, oh, how upset he got. Then he would restart every run and try to go for that perfect. When I asked him why, he just responded with, because I can't be bad. Matt is relying on me.
Who's Matt?
I don't know, I didn't ask. But I haven't been gaming much, aside from Master Duel, really. Oh, hey, Barack, how's that cooking class with you and Michelle going?
It's actually been going great. It's a nice bonding exercise for the two of us as we now get to relax since we're not in office. It was something we used to do in our college days, actually. Michelle is a huge nachos kind of girl, believe it or not, so we've been taking some Spanish cooking classes, and not to brag, but I can whip up a pretty mean guac now.
Oh, yeah? You think you can beat Joe's infamous 5-spice guac, do you, Buster? I've spent years mastering this art and have reigned as the world's #1 guac holder for over 22 years now. I will be the judge of your guac, but first I have to go to the bathroom. I'll be right back, Barack.
Yeah, sure, no problem. Just don't forget to mute your mic.
Sun-kissed skin, so hot will melt your popsicle. Whoa, man,
Joe, your
I love
mic.
that song.
Hey, you doing all right, Donald? You've been much more quiet than usual, and you've really only talked just to say a one-liner. I mean, that's normal, but you're usually much more engaging. Is everything all right, bud? You've been looking real down as of late.
I'm not having fun.
Not having fun with what?
Master Duel, I quit. Yu-Gi-Oh! In general, for that matter, I'm done. I'm over it.
What? But you're the one that introduced me and Joe to it? Oh, come on, Donald. What happened to make you quit? Was it?
Yes, it was Tyralemons.
Oh, come on, Donald. I mean, I know how much you don't like, but are you really going to quit just because of that?
Yep. And until they ban and put that deck in the dirt, I'm done with Yu-Gi-Oh!
Nah, buddy, come on. One more time for real, for real. You've just gotten successful at streaming, too. You also stopped doing that. What happened?
Put it up on the monitor editor. God, this game is such bullshit. Everyone just walking around with the most annoying stuff that you'll ever see and claim that they know how to play the game. Well, I got something for this guy. Come on, Andy, show me that card so I can ash it. Hurry up. L, nice starter. Of course you have called by, but it's not over yet. Max C, you mouth breather. Oh my God, dude. And you have Ash? This game is such dog water. I can't believe that you would just queue up and just stuff 20 hand traps into your...
Damn. I'm sorry, Donald. I didn't know you got clipped.
Oh, hey, that's my video that I uploaded to YouTube recently. Yeah, I was dueling this loser and just outplayed him with that Sprite deck you gave me, Barack.
I'm sorry, Donald.
Oh, hey, would you look at that? It just hit 2 million views. Oh, yeah, baby.
I hate you two so much.
Oh, don't be like that, Donald. You're a much better duelist than whoever was in that video. You can even beat Barack sometimes. Cheer up, best bud. Want to get some ice cream afterwards when we finish having dinner? I heard Michelle bragging about how she whipped up something real delicious.
Just move on to the next segment before I throw something heavy at Joe Barack.
All right, moving forward, we have the interesting discussion of should the use of AI and different 3D technologies be used in medical development and possibly... Sorry about that, I'm getting a text. It's our editor. He said the first podcast is Patreon locked. How? We left it open on YouTube and everything. The only way this could have been done.
That first video was doing numbers, over 5.5 million views, and you want to sit here and dish it out for free? I don't think so. My name wouldn't be Donald Trump if I didn't cash in on this amazing offer. You want to leave money on the table, that's fine, but I have a dream, and it's a wonderful dream that a wise man once said.
And what would that dream be? To rob innocent people of the things that they would enjoy just because you're a greedy fuck?
Hey, hate the game, don't hate the player. I'm sorry that you couldn't see the vision, Barack. Don't worry about it. I'll buy you a beer when this is done.
Donald, you can't exploit our loyal viewers just because you feel like it. What is wrong with you?
Exploit.
How can you just go
Get off
about
your
and do
high
something
horse
like
there,
that, not
Hillary.
only
This isn't
behind
an
our backs,
exploit.
but...
Well, these two are going to argue forever. I think I'm just going to cut the podcast here. We can always pick it up next time or take a short break. I'm sorry about the confusion, but I guess we'll try and get this sorted. Thank you very much for sticking around this long and watching the podcast. It means a lot to me and us here at The Debate. I hope you enjoyed and stick around for more content by us. I'll see you later.